Hello, I'm Jonathan Miller. We're here at the LD Micro event. I'm here with CEO Leslie Klein of CCOM Satellite Systems, ticker symbol CYSNF on the OTC markets. Leslie, would you mind telling our viewers a little bit more about the company and what your focus is?
Thank you for having me, Jonathan. CCOM is a Canadian company listed both on the Toronto West Venture Exchange and the OTC QB. And the company is involved in the development, design, marketing, and sales of satellite antenna systems that are used to deliver high-speed internet into vehicles on the pause. So the antennas that we manufacture allow almost anybody to push a button and be able to activate an antenna that will automatically find the satellite and deliver high-speed broadband into vehicles.
Wow, that's excellent. Much needed. I could have used that on my recent road trip.
For sure.
So obviously the last 2 years have been a struggle for a lot of public companies. How have you been able to successfully navigate what's been going on with the pandemic and now that things are returning to normal? What's been the strategy there?
Well, we actually have anticipated some issues in the supply chain markets and other complications. And the company has been doing relatively well compared to last year. I think we'll have about a 30% improvement over sales and profitability. And we have been able to source material for our next production of antenna systems. And over the last couple of years, the company has sold 10,000 of these antennas in 106 countries. We've been in business 25 years, and we have a reseller channel of 600 resellers who are very loyal, very active, and keeping us very busy selling product all over the world. And so far, the COVID situation has affected us last year, but this year we are in a much better situation than we were last year.
That's excellent. And I know my first question, you kind of touched on this, but what are some of the new products you're focusing on releasing right now?
CCOM has been developing over the last 5 years an electronically steered phased array antenna that will be used in tracking these low Earth orbit satellites. I'm sure you've heard of the developments with SpaceX and Amazon and others putting up tens of thousands of low Earth orbit satellites. Each of those will need an antenna system that will be able to track electronically these moving low Earth orbit satellites. And we have developed technology that is able to do that. And we should have a product on the market for this large potential $17 billion opportunity sometimes next year.
Wow. And you mentioned Starlink. So I'm actually familiar. I've looked into their mobile broadband service that they provide. Now, they do have an antenna product that is meant to capture those satellites. How would you differ from those?
Well, our antennas are designed for a different frequency, and Starlink is a closed type of a network. So the only antennas that you can use on that network are Starlink antennas. We are developing a Ka band frequency, which is a much higher frequency, much wider bandwidth, and it will be usable on any low Earth orbit satellites operating in Ka band, not Ku band, like the Starlink. So there will be many satellite constellations put up by Telesat, by Amazon, and Boeing, and many others around the world. So our antenna in the Ka band frequency will be agnostic. It will not require specific closed loop operation that they are using their own antennas on. And also it will be designed to work in commercial space rather than consumer markets. We are not going after the consumer market.
Wow. And so what's the expected rollout for the, say, continental United States?
Well, when it rolls out, it will probably roll out all over the world because we will need to have certifications of that antenna with satellite operators like Eutelsat, Viasat, Hughes, and many others. And so we hope that we will have the prototypes operating next year, and hopefully towards a year from now, we should have manufactured products ready to go.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Well, switching gears here, what's the debt ratio of the company?
The company has no debt.
No debt. That's excellent.
The company pays dividends, has about 25 million working capital, and has paid out over 20 million or close to $20 million in dividends over the last 42 quarters.
Wow. And where can investors find your most recent 10 filings?
They are on the both the Canadian and the OTCQB websites, and the news releases. We just released financials last week. They're all available on our website. CCOM's website is www.c-comsat.com, and also on the OTCQB under the symbol, the CCOM symbol there.
All right. And here's a little bit of a tougher question. You mentioned you've been in business 35 years.
25.
25 years, sorry. What do you say has been your greatest accomplishment so far?
Well, I think the greatest accomplishment was the establishment of this company from scratch 25 years ago, taking it public about 23 years ago, and actually making it possible to distribute this product all over the world in 106 countries through 600 resellers. So we are very small, 33 people, but we have a very large footprint. We cover the whole world, and we provide some life-saving opportunities with our antennas to a lot of companies and a lot of individuals around the world.
That's great. So obviously there's a big business-to-business play there where you're reselling these to larger industries.
Actually, we are reselling them to integrators and resellers who are reselling them to larger industries. So that's why we can remain small and remain in the background, because we don't deal directly, let's say, with the U.S. military or the or SoftBank, who is a very large customer of ours. They have over 400 of our antennas. Wow. Halliburton has over 1,000 antennas, and Hughes has many of our antennas as well. But they are resellers themselves. So Hughes resells our antennas to Halliburton, for example, and some of our resellers sell to SoftBank in Japan. So we kind of staying in the background, but working with some very, very large customers around the world.
And it sounds like the strategy is working.
It's working, yes, absolutely.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers or investors before we sign out here?
I just would like to tell them that the company is very solid, obviously, very profitable, and the stock is undervalued.
So again, thank you for viewing today. I'm here with Leslie Klein, CEO of CCOM Satellite Communications.